Prom was fucking brutal. Prom was probably like the most fucking shitty, prom is just shit in general, you know. It doesn't even matter like what the situation was. Prom was just a waste of money. Like, I remember my dumb, and I fucking hate my friends for this shit. They kept like crying and being like, bro, come on, bro, you have to do prom, bro, come on, it's gonna be the last year, bro, do prom, bro. And I kept telling them, fuck off, I'm not doing that stupid shit. But they eventually peer pressured me into going to prom, so I had to buy a fucking suit, blow more money on that bullshit. It was like $200 for the fucking ticket itself to even get into prom. And I was like, what the fuck? You want to know how retarded my friend is? My friend has like all these like mental disorders and shit, and he needs like medication or whatever for it. And they patted him down because they have to pat you down or some shit. This motherfucker, they pull out a bag of pills and shit. And they had to my friend's an idiot. I was like, why couldn't you just kept that at home? He's like, oh bro, what if I have an anxiety attack or something happens? But anyway, I don't know, it just made me think of that. But anyway, prom, fuck that shit. Prom was the worst fucking garbage on the planet. I regret going 100%. If I didn't go, I'd probably have like a good like $300-400 back in my pocket, you know, fucking blowing my money on that trash. You know, anyone who didn't go to prom, you're lucky. You know, you didn't miss out on shit. I remember my friend, you know, we were, there's like a dance floor or some shit where everyone was fucking dancing. And I mean everybody. There's not one person in their seats. Everyone was on the dance floor dancing. Like, and I was just standing there. It was like 1,000 degrees. And it was like so cringe just watching everyone dancing and like going ape shit. And, it just fucking sucked. Like, I was just like, what the fuck is this shit? So I sat back down at the table, like, all alone, and no one was there. And my one-itis was there, too, at the table next to me. I was like, fuck, you can't get more brutal than that. And she had a fucking date, too. She had a fucking date, and I remember this shit. It was, like, some gay kid, though. I was like, what the hell? Like, I don't know if they were just, like, friends or whatever. But that was her date, this gay kid. And I was like, shit, you know, sitting at the table right next to me, and I was just like watching them dancing, the slow dancing. That was the brutality. It was like I laugh at it now, but back then I was miserable. Like, the fucking brutality. I remember specifically they were doing this slow dancing shit where you had like a partner and you do the slow dance. And I was just watching. I was the only one sitting at my fucking table. The only one sitting down in general. Just the only one. Just watching the whole dance floor. Slow dancing with a partner. Watching my one-itis slow dancing. It was so brutal. And my friend comes over. You know, my manlit friend who's 5'6". We're just sitting together, me and him, we're just fucking miserable, and he's like, damn, bro, this is fucking brutal, this sucks, and I'm like, yeah, I know. So this motherfucker's like, I'm gonna go all out. So he goes on the dance floor and starts like fucking mosh pitting and shit, like punching people and pushing people like to the music. Like, it's so fucking stupid, dude. I was just watching his manlit ass, like, throwing, like, mosh pit kicks and shit, and, like, throwing his hands around, just pissing everyone off. But it's just like, I literally just sat. The only thing I did, my fat ass just like ate a bunch of food. And that's all I did. I just sat in the back. And I wasn't fat like I am now. I was about like 170. And I was just fucking eating all the bread and like all the food. Just sitting by myself. And I remember the soy boy. The kid that was in this band I wanted to be in. And that told me no. Basically the story I told a while ago. He was like, oh, bro, you okay, bro? You okay, bro? And I was like, yeah. And then he just walked away. And so, because I guess, like, it was my one-itis, this gay kid that she brought, that kid, and it was just, like, a bunch of, like, people, like, normies at that table. And they were just, like, so brutal. Like, I can't even, like, explain how brutal prom was. You know, it was, like, one of the last, like, experiences of high school. Not my last, but one of the last ones. You know, just the brutality of it just sucked. Fuck prom. You know, if you guys are young watching this shit, don't go to prom if you don't have a date. You're gonna end up like fucking miserable. I mean, I went with 4 of my friends. It's still miserable. You know, friends aren't gonna like solve the prom issue. I mean, for me at least. I mean, fuck, I blew all this money and shit. Came home, and the thing is, my friend, you know, we took like different cars, and my one friend drove me. It was just me and him sitting in the car. This motherfucker smelled like absolute shit, like absolute like dog shit, because he was like dancing and the whole time like on the fucking dance floor, sweating his ass off. Smelled like donkey shit. So I had to sit in the car with him smelling like a fucking shit. That was so brutal. And I came home and I lied to my mom. I said, Mom, it was the best time on the fucking universe. You know, it was the best moment. And she was like, oh, I'm so happy for you. Even though that night I went home so fucking miserable and depressed because of my one-itis. Slow dancing with that kid. Fucking brutal. But, yeah, I'd do anything to go back and just not go to prom. That shit was a fucking waste of money.